I think it all hinges on him, right? To be better. Taylor Rapp's a good football player, and he's tough as nails.
He's a crash test dummy.
He does.
First team all crash test dummy.
And you mean that in a sense of
no regard for his body.
Yes.
Like he's Dan is saying that as a compliment.
Yes. I don't mean that like the
focus he's a on smart guy.
Yeah, right. Focus on the crash test part, not the dummy part of that.
Yes.
You mean
because DeMar is still
I'm back,
there.
Baby.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast, brought to you by Connors and Ferris.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast, presented by Connors and Ferris. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We got the whole crew back together after vacations and other stuff. So excited. Other stuff. The wedding. Okay.
Let's talk more about that.
We're not going to talk more about it. We're going to talk today about just the confidence level in the Bills defense ahead of this 2025 season. Obviously, training camp is right around the corner. I know so many people are looking forward to the Bills being back at Fisher, Hard Knocks, Josh Allen out there. But we wanted to take some time because the Bills have obviously done a lot of work on that side of the ball heading into this summer. So, Mike, I want to start with you. Just your overall confidence level in the Bills defense as we approach the start of camp.
It's not high at the moment because there's too many question marks for it to be good. Now, there's a potential, I think maybe more potential than we've had for it to actually be good. Some young players, some exciting players, some position depth that they haven't had.
Yep.
I'm a little concerned about the 6-game suspensions. I would love to see those guys be ready to go. But I think there's optimism because of what it could be. But, you know, they don't have that many guys on this defense, Dan, that you sit there and go, I know what he is.
Yeah.
And he's at the level that we need him to be. Because even the good players all could go up a notch.
Yeah, I am at that point of we're in the middle of the summer. And like you see the accounts like posting like, look at this guy working out. Like this guy, like we are in that like best, like we're past best shape of their lives. And we have moved into this guy's going to have a big year. Like
breakout season loading.
Everybody is going to have a big year right now because it's right before training camp. And like, we'll get the first few clips of like trainers and stuff like that working with guys. You'd be like, perfect example is the Elijah Moore.
He has run more routes running around and around. He's got to be tired.
Like
I see all the clips of it.
And everybody, they're running around cones and they're like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Like, check out this guy.
Separation.
Against, see how he left that cone in the dust? Like, that was unbelievable. So I am there with some of this, you know, being a little bit cautiously optimistic, like you said. But I am excited about this defense, and mainly because it's not what it was. Like, they didn't just run it back and say, sure, let's bring Vaughn back. Sure, let's bring Austin Johnson back. Sure, let's bring back Dwayne Smoot. Like, I like that they tried to seemingly do new things. It doesn't mean they're going to work, but I'm at least liking that they're not just kicking the can down the road again and saying, hey, this year this guy's going to have the big year. Like, they didn't just say like, well, AJ Epinesa is going to have to do this. Like, they've tried to find replacements to guys that I can see upside in, and that has me excited for a defensive line that has been so inconsistent or consistently inconsistent over these last 3 years.
I think it is encouraging. And I look at where this roster is now heading into camp and where it was a year ago. And you mentioned some of those guys, the Quentin Jeffersons, the Von Millers. Those are players that are not on another NFL roster right now. And that to me says a lot about just, you know, Jordan Phillips, Rasul Douglas, like 31 other NFL teams do not have those players on their roster.
And the Bills moved on from them.
And the Bills moved on from them, which I think was the right decision. Now, I think they addressed the need. Obviously, through the draft, they used a lot of resources in terms of the defensive line as well as in the secondary. So I think you see with them trying to get the job done and having a more proficient defense in general. But you talked earlier about like, there's a lot of question marks. There are a lot of question marks, but I do feel confident that Sean McDermott's defense and Bobby Babich, another season now entering year 2, that they can figure things out. But obviously that is hinging upon some of these younger players and what they will turn into, especially this season. But I think they've done a great job of addressing the need. Now is the fun part where we get to see where things will actually hit the pavement.
Yeah. I mean, there's very big reasons to be excited about Max Hairston, the skill set that he brings
Yep.
there in the secondary, right? The best thing that can happen for Max Hairston is that Joey Bosa and Greg Rousseau are getting to the
100%.
quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Like any other player. So it does play into each other. There's a reason to be optimistic on the linebackers because Bernard and Milano are healthy
Yes.
coming into camp. You'll see how it goes. And Dorian Williams is that third linebacker. That's pretty good. Yeah. Knock on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It was too easy.
So there is reasons to be excited. But then there is the question marks front to back, with a guy like Cole Bishop.
That's the big one.
Because you need him so badly to step up and be
So badly.
a good player, a starting level
Correct.
guy who's going to get better week after week. I think about a guy like Terrell Bernard, who we went into that camp going, except for Dan Fates, everybody else wasn't
You
sure.
didn't let me cut you off.
I know, because
you beat me to it.
I know. I just, in my mind, I always start to make a point and think, how's Dan going to take credit for this? So in this case, I just gave it to him because he's like 1 for 25. So he's
Yeah.
good. He got,
he only talks about that one too.
That's all you got. That's all you need.
but how we came into that year going, who's going to play
Nobody
linebacker?
thought that.
We thought it was going to be Dodson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for me.
And then Dan, who had predicted it the year before.
Saw it in the stars.
did.
It's pretty
Says-
nuts.
But then he
It's
comes
pretty
out there,
nuts.
right? He comes out in year 2 after unimpressive year 1 when he got to play.
Yeah, the
And
one
you're like,
game.
That dude can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started that way. Maybe that's what we see in Cole Bishop. He doesn't have to be all pro level. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But you want him to be where he's got to be on the field and he's a plus player in the secondary.
More than ever, even more than last year, because while I don't, and Sean was very adamant that, this belief that Sean McDermott doesn't play rookies, like that's not true. And I appreciate Sean having the snarkiness during one of the press conferences to say, you have to put the guys out there that trust and have earned that playing time, right? More than last year, this is Cole Bishop's job to lose. If DeMar Hamlin or Derek Forster start over him, like that's on Cole Bishop. That is not because of something else or his being in the second year. That is 100% on Cole Bishop. It is so much his job to lose this year. And so you're right. Like there is, I guess I could say he's probably the player the Bills are expecting and need to step up the most heading into this year. Is Cole Bishop becomes a viable, starting, productive player as a safety.
That actually goes well off of what I was going to ask of like, do you think that looking at the safeties right now heading into this summer, do you think that they are a stronger unit than they were last year? And how much of that does hinge on Cole Bishop's development?
I think it all hinges on him,
Mm.
right? To be better, right?
Yeah.
Because Taylor Rapp's a good football player and he's tough as nails
Mhm.
and he is a good starting player in the NFL.
He's a crash test dummy.
He does.
First team all crash test dummy.
Yeah. And you mean that in a sense of,
No regard for his body.
yes.
Like
What-
he's a
I
Dan is saying that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't mean that like the
he's
focus
a
on
smart guy.
yeah,
right.
focus on the crash test part, not the dummy part of that.
Yes.
You mean
Because DeMar is still
I'm back,
there.
baby.
let's talk about
I-
ugly pennies and
yeah.
crash test,
Oh my
test
God.
dummies.
But DeMar is still there. And if the need be, DeMar ends up starting. But they don't, like you said, they don't want that. And I go back to asking Bobby Babich this spring about their expectations for Cole Bishop. And he gave me the answer of, I don't have higher expectations than any player does. That's fine. He does have expectations for him. He needs him to be that. If not, he's not going to start and not going to play because we've talked about this a lot. They need to trust players, especially on defense. No more so than those two guys at the back end of the defense.
100%.
In a Sean McDermott, now Bobby Babich defense. You better know where you're going to be.
Yep.
You better know your position value. Now, it helps if you've got two really good corners on the outside and
Sure
Taron Johnson
does.
in the slot. And I think, they do believe that that's what the case is. But the idea of playing rookies is hilarious that he won't do it. When you look at Christian Benford over there, not only was he a rookie when he started,
Yeah.
he was the 6th round pick. It wasn't like they just gave it to the number 1 guy because
Correct.
Kyer Elam was the guy. So
Mhm.
earn it, meritocracy. you play. And I think they believe Max Hairston's going to win the job or can. And I think they believe that Cole Bishop is going to be the starter. At least that's going into the spring, into summer camp.
What if Dorian Strong starts at safety over Cole Bishop?
You think at safety?
I don't know.
Or-
I was just saying, like, what if he finds a spot to start? They have 6-round picks starting their rookie years.
What about
Where's that in the crazy scale?
I think that's pretty crazy. That feels pretty unhinged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Dan, so.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I'm saying
We're back, baby.
Yeah. No, I think anything can happen. I do believe they're going to hope that Cole Bishop is healthy during camp, which hurt him last year. And then the experience that he did get helps him for this year. But that's a lot to ask. And it's a lot to just say, well, it's year 2 and he's going to be good. Not every player does that. Not every player is Terrell Bernard.
Well, I think at times we've looked at this defense and we've said the sum is better than the parts.
Yeah.
This needs to be a year where like that page kind of turns and like the parts need to be really good too.
Yeah.
Like it's this everybody eats philosophy on offense. Like there need to be guys that make big plays in big moments on the defense because they haven't really had that. Terrell Bernard has the punch out. Like that is what I'm talking about, whether that's Max Harrison coming up with speed and tracking guys down or taking away number 1 wide receivers. Yes, it's do your 111th, but there needs to be guys that are doing more and that you can trust to be great. Like I know we're not talking about Cole Bishop being a Pro Bowler or all pro, but to make plays, to make tackles in big spots and not get big boyed and not get run over. That's what we're talking about, where I'm sitting here going, man, you look at this defense, and we were just talking about it before we started recording of like some of the players that have come through this defense that have been lackluster, or whether it's trades made or whether it's draft picks, Mike. And
well, yeah, because you talk about that draft, right? When they ended up, forget about Elam. That was a mistake. He didn't work. He's in Dallas now. But you got Bernard and Benford. Okay. The next year, they only took Dorian Williams and Alex Austin. Alex Austin, long gone. Dorian Williams, good football player.
Yep.
They hope he rises up. Last year, you got Cole Bishop. Definitely questions coming in. Dwayne Carter, questions coming in. Eddie Olafoshio as a linebacker, maybe again in another year, staying healthy because he dealt with that. Javon Solomon. Again, they drafted over him already, or it appears to be.
Yep.
And then you got Hardy, the Penn
drafted
State
and
linebacker.
signed.
Yes. So you're saying these are the guys. And then you look at the free agents they brought in, and it becomes like,
Mike brought receipts.
well, I'm looking and saying, who have they brought in? Because everybody's looking and saying Ogunjobi and Hoyt and Forrest, right? But the year before it was Casey Toohill and Mike Edwards and Nick Morrow and Austin Johnson. Like, Austin Johnson was in the rotation. Mike Edwards did nothing. Nick Morrow wasn't around. Casey Toohill, very little, couple of plays. Like they didn't get a lot out of those guys. Now they invested more this year.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
higher picks this year and all that. So you hope so. But I do think it's like, that's why I started with cautiously optimistic, but you gotta see how it plays out.
Did you see anything from Javon Solomon? I mean, obviously you talk about drafting over him, but
yeah. The one thing that I like about him is that I think we've talked about it before, that he's different than the other guys. Like they have the bigger guys, like your favorite player, Landon Jackson.
Yeah.
Like a bigger guys, Joey Bosa, big guys. And then you kind of have Solomon, which I think could be a change of pace. He's a smaller guy, speed, edge, bend, more of that Von Miller speed rusher to go along with Greg, who kind of has a little bit of both with speed and some power, but to kind of blend that all together. I like that he's different. I like that not every single, it's like the basketball team. Like you want to have some guys that you can bring in off the bench that are just 3-point specialists.
Yeah.
The guys are just defenders or just post players. I like the fact that Solomon has something different. At least we've seen small snippets that he's got something different.
I hope they get this thing worked out with the second round picks, because TJ Sanders is one of 30 second round picks.
Yeah, there's only 2 that are signed.
That aren't signed. And, these teams, it's not even that much money, the difference. I was reading about the way they do the second round picks, and it's guaranteed to a point. And then that last year, and it had been like 60%. And then who was it? Houston? and was it Cleveland? I'm trying to think of the other team that gave the guaranteed pick, guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And so now all these guys are there. And it may not seem like much, and maybe it gets settled leading into camp, but I don't want to see a guy like Sanders missing time at camp.
No.
Because they'll
Yeah.
want him to play.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned Landon Jackson. Like that I'm excited to see. I'm going to see how they look
Yep.
against everybody. And Deion Walker will see how he's doing physically
Yep.
to see whether he can play. But it is a lot of investments. Like they haven't had a year like this where they just said, our draft is for these guys.
Well,
and they brought them all in.
And Josh spent the weekend in Lake Tahoe golfing at the American Century.
It looks so beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to go there.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. He was hitting golf balls, throwing footballs to people on boats.
Buffalo Plus next year, Tahoe.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Dan, you won't be able to go on your vacation though.
That's okay.
It was such a good setup.
Touche, Jenna. But Josh was asked on the broadcast kind of about what's new this year, what's changed. And the one thing, he didn't talk a lot about the offense. He said we got a lot younger on the defense. And he said off of that, he goes, with that comes inexperience. Like Josh is aware of, hey, there's new pieces that are unknown. And that's a question mark.
Yeah.
And for a long time, like I said, that's why Mike and I are both seemingly cautiously optimistic, because it's not just the same song and dance, but with that becomes these guys haven't done it, and they haven't done it in Buffalo, and they haven't done it with these guys. So I think that there's that excitement, but also the understanding of especially training camp. Like, I think that's why this year more than ever, Sean really put the emphasis on minicamp of like, we need to get everything ironed out now so that we're not learning this stuff in camp. We're hitting the ground running into the preseason.
That is one of the things that I think I was kind of naive to earlier on in my career, that I thought like, oh, well, training camp is the start of everything.
Same.
And then now after following the team for so long, I'm like, no, like training camp is obviously a point in time to get things buttoned up, but like you should be able to immediately kind of hit the ground running. And I think that's why, like you mentioned, mini camp being so important, but especially with having so many younger guys on this roster, like that to me is like where you can really have the hard coaching, the long days, but the learning opportunities that come along with it. But you have to know enough to learn enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And listen, we can spin it any way you want, but Hoyt and Ogunjobi, if they were both playing, that's what you would want from day one playing. And I know people say, oh, you get them in week 6. Then the young players could get their feet wet more and play. Now, look, I guess it could turn into a positive if the young guys, let's just say.
How's the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Well, it doesn't have to be
I don't
that.
think it has to be that bad.
Well, you're trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah, I'm saying, yes, I can
Glass
see where.
half full would probably be a better analogy than the Lincoln.
Then Lincoln getting shot in the head? Really? That's where you go? I'm looking at it saying, if these players get more snaps early, does it help them? You would hope so. But at the same time, I really wanted to see these guys playing from the get-go, week number 1. Now get to week 6, have the Bills be 5-1, and everybody's pretty happy, then I guess you're okay. But these you brought these 2 players in who have a lot of NFL experience.
Yes.
And I really think Hoyt appears to be a guy who's done it in the NFL, maybe not at a high level, but he's had production in the NFL that I think he's a guy that could change things a little bit for them in the pass rush. And I want to see him, but we're going to have to wait.
Credit to us for not saying, here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
Credit to us.
What do you need to see from Greg Rousseau and Ed Oliver, if anything?
I don't need to see much from Ed. I think we know what his ceiling is. It's the thought of, have we seen Greg's? Is where, like, I think we've seen Ed take over and dominate games every once in a while. Like, I think he's had,
that Detroit game.
Some of those times where you're like, that's it. It's the consistency. And with Greg, it's is he going to be a 10-sack guy?
Can I ask a question of you too?
Mm-hmm.
You do these polls around the league, like we can talk about the one Jeremy Fowler just did. We're asking everybody around, and I'm curious as to how players are ranked. They're different positions. They're both D linemen, different positions. Do you think Ed Oliver is thought of as a higher level player than Greg Rousseau?
In terms of like,
yes,
probably actually.
I don't think so.
Really?
Well, you think wrong.
You are also
Team Greg.
you are you were president and
there-
CEO of the
I
Greg
think
Rousseau
there-
fan club.
Yeah, I think there are more defensive ends that take over games. I think there are fewer defensive tackles that can take over games like Ed can.
Yeah.
That was a well
Like he
supported
can.
argument.
That was put together. I didn't stumble.
Like he can. I just
Again, that's what I'm saying. Have we seen Greg's ceiling?
I think we've seen Ed's ceiling.
Isn't that what I?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
his ceiling. I don't think his ceiling is high enough for the 9th pick in the draft. I think he's a good football player.
But then you're basing it on where he was picked.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that does factor in. He's a
but
top
I
10
have,
Greg
pick,
enough for a
whereas-
first round edge rusher? So close.
he's 25.
He's young.
Oh,
Forgot.
Oh my gosh, we haven't heard.
Catalana just pulled a he's young.
I didn't say he was young. I said he's 25. They just
Where
paid
were
him.
you?
They just paid him, and I think his ceiling is higher.
You know how many times we make fun of the people, and even McDermott and Bean, when we're like, they're young. And
But-
Catalana just said,
Here's the difference. They're saying young, making excuses for poor play. I'm saying they're young because I think he's got another gear to go. I really do. I think he has another gear. Physically, I like the way he plays. I think he's good against
know.
the run.
5th year pop.
we
No,
know.
honestly,
we
that would
know
be-
you like the way he plays.
Yeah.
You've made it very clear.
And
No, I
as
hear
clear
you.
as I
I-
have
I
made my
cannot-
Terrell Bernard prediction. We have made
oh
it
my
very
God. You
clear.
threw that
How many-
spaghetti
how
against
many-
the wall.
How
on
many
that
sacks
one.
this year?
Oh, for Rousseau?
Yes, I have an over under that he has to hit.
You're asking me what it would be?
I don't know what your Mayberry head thinks, but I'm telling you, I have a number that he has to hit to sit there and say worth the money and has taken the next step.
11.
That's insane.
8?
And a half.
Yeah.
He needs 9 sacks.
Wow.
Mark it down.
I would say, what's
last
the
year.
date?
I said 10
We gotta
last
find
year.
the
Jenna,
receipts.
I
he
said
was young. He was young last year.
I said 10 last year. I said double digits. So it had to have been to 10. What did he end up with?
6. He had 4 in the first game.
He had 3 in the first game.
Jenna,
I'm looking it up.
I think he had 4.
I don't know, Jim.
I just think his
Okay.
ceiling is high. I still think his ceiling is high. They
We know.
obviously do too. They
Yeah.
just paid him. So
We need a better fact checking producer here.
Seriously.
There's smoke coming out of Jenna's head.
It says he had 8 sacks in 2024.
8. And
8
how many do you
sacks,
have in
and
the first?
and 2 in the postseason.
And how many do you have in the first game?
In the first game, hold on, I'm not doing.
Oh my God.
This is horrendous podcasting. Game log Greg Rousseau.
I know.
God.
I'm sweating.
See,
Oh my gosh.
married Jenna slow on the computer.
It's at
Yeah.
the bottom. It's at the bottom. I think it's 3 sacks.
Where?
Oh my God.
Well, it's there, but this is. Oh,
It's 3.
I was yeah.
Oh, so it was
3.
3 and 8. So I was right on both counts, not 4 and 6,
Gosh,
and
that
2 in the
was-
playoffs.
I'm not good
Isn't
under
that something?
pressure.
I'm hopeful that Joey Bosa can be an effective player on the other side, and eventually maybe Michael Hoyt and Landon Jackson, like all these guys. That's where I'm encouraged about the pass rush. Joey Bosa's obviously done it. If he's healthy, I think he can be good for them. Hoyt has done it to an extent. He got passed up in LA because they're pretty good at drafting guys. Like they got Jared Verse. Like they did well, and then they moved on from him. And then we'll see what Landon Jackson has, who gives that other skill set. Like you said, believe me, I'm not sitting here pretending that Greg Rousseau is one of these total game wreckers that doesn't need anybody around him. But I do think it would be helpful if he had somebody on the other side that they actually had to worry about.
Imagine if he does. We'd have to eat these words.
We're not gonna remember this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you'd mentioned Bosa. Do you have any concern as we enter camp just
Mhm.
about okay? Well,
Just to
what
be
is your
healthy.
what is your
It's to be healthy.
The
No, I was gonna
analysis
say,
is-
like, what is your
Mhm.
level of concern?
It's high. It's the reason why he's signing a guy with his success in this league is signing a 1-year deal at this point in his career because people are concerned that he can stay on the field. I think his ability, maybe they'll get fortunate in this, right? I mean, when they
Wouldn't that be nice?
signed Von,
And
he
Leonard
started
Floyd.
out like that guy.
And Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they had a pass rush, and then Von got hurt. And then it was never the same. But Von started, and Von was older. I mean, what was Von when they signed him? 33, 34?
I think he was, either 33.
33. Right. But he started out great, and then we had, Detroit. But I do think listen, if the guy can stay, I don't buy this whole idea of put him in bubble wrap and bring him out for the playoffs. That's not the way it works. He's going to play, and to help them doesn't mean you got to give him 60 snaps a game, but you do need to get him out there. I think if he can be healthy and stay that way, he's had a lot of weird injuries. Like it's been
soft tish.
Yeah. So those are the things. And he started out with that. So that added to the concern, but
who's been more injured on soft tissue the last 3 years? Joey Bosa or Balin Spector?
Oh, man.
Just want to get a Balin Spector reference into this pod.
Yeah.
Really enunciating there.
Yeah.
Balin Spector. Do you want to talk about linebacker? We mentioned it a little bit earlier, but.
Listen, like I said, they're both healthy.
Yeah.
That's a good pair of linebackers, and that's a good backup linebacker.
Yeah.
And so you're saying to yourself, okay, now it would be nice, and we'll see for some depth in the middle.
I would love to have Dorian Williams be the guy that comes on the field on whether it's first down to stop the run or to get after the quarterback, because he's also a first team crash test dummy as well. Like he hits so hard, plays so violent. Like when AJ Klein was really, when he came back and had that playoff game, like he just flew around the field. I see that in Dorian. I just don't know if he can be a consistent 3-down linebacker yet.
I think there's a case to be made. Maybe if testing would show differently, is he the best athlete on the team?
He's up there.
He's got to be. Yeah.
It's like
I'm curious, like Hairston though, like what kind of athlete you would
different
type, obviously, yes.
But where we just have those physical traits.
Well, the guy they always talked about that was the most athletic on the team was Saran Neal.
Yeah.
They said that he was like the most athletic freak on the team. It just wasn't always.
The athleticism is like Josh is an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
Correct.
In the Josh Allenest of ways, right? The things he can do. But in terms of just running, physicality, and that's why I just love those kind of players going after the quarterback.
Yeah.
Dorian is one of those guys that plays with his hair
on fire. Okay, by the way, you mentioned it.
I love that so much.
Give me a guy. Yeah, here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
I want a guy who does come in and we hear best shape of his life.
Reed Ferguson.
Best shape of his life?
Friend of the pod. Best shape of his life. Well,
on defense?
Can be anybody, but I have one.
I know who you're going to say.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I mean, I could see it being James Cook just because of
it's on offense.
Nope.
Oh.
Defensive guy, best shape of his life.
Milano?
No, I think he's always in good shape, isn't he? It's just about being healthy.
Yeah. Hold, please.
I thought you were going to say DK.
No.
Because we're going to hear that a lot at training camp. First 2 days.
Yeah, actually, I think we will as well.
We're on defense here.
Okay. What about DeMar? No.
Dwayne Carter.
I honestly thought
I could see that. Really? Actually, no. I'm gonna.
I
no.
don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. I don't agree.
We're gonna ask Bobby one of the first times. Hey, how's Dwayne Carter look? He's just gonna be itching to say it. I'm just saying him. Could be. I don't think Sean. I don't hear Sean say that.
No.
Maybe there's a better chance that Brandon Beam would say it than Sean. I don't hear Sean say.
Sean's big thing, if he calls you a professional, that is when you know you have climbed up the depth chart for Sean. That was the big Justin Shorter.
And if you're a notch above that, you're a true professional.
Oh, well done.
A true professional.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
It's true.
Is Dan a true professional?
He's working his way back there. No, you're a true professional. You are a true professional.
You're
That's
a true
just because I'm
professional.
old.
Yeah. No, but you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I should have worn my jacket.
Who are you most excited on the defense to watch this season?
I think it's Hairston.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think just seeing what that speed
Shocked it's not Greg Rousseau for you.
could be.
Well, I know how good Rousseau is.
That's true. I just think Harrison, like that speed was something we haven't seen in Buffalo since Trey, like prime Trey, like that kind of.
Yeah.
Mine's Landon Jackson.
You are. You are the president and CEO of the Landon Jackson fan club.
Yeah.
I think he's.
I just think that he could make such a big impact. They've been wanting to have a guy that could be a disruptor, and I think he can bring that if things pan out in the way the Bills expect. But yeah, anything else?
Good talk. Good pod.
Had some funny bits.
Yeah.
Did we want to mention the Josh ratings?
Sure.
On the latest. Jeremy Fowler.
Was there an anonymous NFL executive that called him overrated?
No.
Oh.
But in Jeremy Fowler's piece,
kind of upsetting.
They used Bean's soundbite about there's idiots everywhere.
Oh.
And they quoted our friend, and I'll say friend of the pod, Dom Tibbetts. They used a quote tweet from Dom Tibbetts.
Oh,
yeah.
we love that.
What about the quote from the Buffalo Plus podcast when Bean held up the mug?
Oh, yeah.
That could have been a good one.
That would have been a good one. But when he said there's idiots everywhere. No, it was
Dom Trimble.
Yeah, he got called by the wrong name. It was, in this one, it ended up being, Mahomes was 1, Josh was 2, Burrow was 3, Lamar was 4. But in there is the rankings, which made me laugh, is one executive, scout, whoever it was, had Lamar 6. You can't put Lamar 6. You can't put Josh Allen 6. You can't put Mahomes 6, and you can't put Burrow 6. They're the top 4. Mix them up any way you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Pull names out of a hat, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That is Lamar like 3 years ago.
Yes.
You could do that after the first MVP season and say, well, he still doesn't throw the ball extrememely well, but now there's idiots everywhere. That's the epitome of it's like calling Josh Allen overrated.
Yes.
If you have Lamar 6.
Jaden Daniels 5th.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
Listen, I think I would tell you this. I think he is a very talented player. I think he carried that team last year.
Who's more talented? Greg Rousseau.
Who's younger?
I think he's very talented, and I think he played in a way that I could see him maintaining this. I think he never looked rattled.
No.
You guys give me a hard. I had the issue with the CJ Stroud.
You did.
Because CJ Stroud also talked about himself as one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. And he's a good player. Took a bit of a step back last year. Didn't handle, because that Washington roster is not great.
No.
It's okay. It's not great. We'll see where Daniels is this year, but they should be pretty happy with him because that organization was bad. He came in and played really well for them.
They were one of the worst organizations, franchises.
Yeah. And then they had, Justin Herbert, this fascination with Justin Herbert. He's always going to get.
You were a Justin Herbert. You were Justin. Hang on. Let me say this right. CJ Stroud became your new Justin Herbert. Like you have always been like, what have they done?
Well, in Herbert's case, CJ Stroud, it was only because it was 1 year. And then it was all of a sudden like top 5 in the league. He was really good, but he's not top 5 as a quarterback. He's top 10, maybe towards the end. And there's a big difference between the first 5 and the next 5, just in terms of what we see. I think Daniels is better. With Herbert, it's because we have seen him in big leverage moments, not good. So now he's past the point where it's like a year.
Yeah.
Yes, he throws a nice ball and he gets a lot of yards. So does Dak Prescott. So does Kirk Cousins. Like those guys. I'm not comparing them as actual players. I just mean sometimes it's like the guy they all love. And it was Trevor Lawrence before that.
Yep.
Who really hadn't done anything.
Yep.
So
that is true. That's
Yeah. So let's see. But Josh is, 2, 1, 3 really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we know how good he is, and the other guys are all great too.
Yeah.
Those top 4.
No, it makes sense. All right, let's go into credit to me.
I've got a handful. Do I go first or do I go last? Because I was on vacation and was like writing them down. Like,
Well, you are excited about it.
Yeah, why don't you go?
Yeah,
well,
go right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't go last, so you go last.
What?
I'll go last.
Okay.
Mine's yeah.
Well, I told them I had 3. One is an easy one, is a layup that I have to and want to do. One is very funny, and then one's very heartfelt. The easy one.
Hold on, I need some hydration. This is going to take a while.
I already checked out.
Yeah. The first one is credit to my wife. This is our 8-year anniversary.
That is
Happy
crazy.
anniversary.
It's been
Yeah.
8 years.
God bless you, Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the serious moment out of this is like, we are so lucky we get to do all this stuff. And it's funny because my wife won't see this. She won't watch this, but she'll get it sent to her by her friends
She was asking Jenny if she watches the pod
at the wedding.
Yeah.
And Jenny's like, no.
No.
And Renee's like, me neither. Partly because
Zach doesn't watch either.
they get to hear us
all the time.
all the time.
and
Yes.
partly of that is that, you know, with our schedules, it's difficult. Like Renee is by far the rock of the household.
Yeah,
Like,
in my case, Jenny just doesn't care.
yeah.
She doesn't care. She doesn't really care what I say about anything. Let
What's your
alone
anniversary?
football. Oh, we don't really have one.
You're just up there. You're just up there with years.
Yeah.
But yeah, my wife is like, Renee is the one that, with all of our schedules and craziness and having 3 kids under 5, like she is the one that is the rock of the household. So credit to Renee for all that she does. Married to my best friend, very lucky to do all that. Second one, credit to the people that understand you don't put the twist tie back on the bread loaf.
What? I put the twist tie back on.
You're insane.
You do the wrap and the
Wrap
tie.
and then tuck it underneath, and you put the bread back.
The twist tie.
That twist tie is the first thing that gets thrown away.
You're talking about
That
the
takes more
twist tie
effort to
or the
throw it
other
away.
thing that's like that
Both of
little
them.
plastic.
Both
I
of
don't
them.
like that little plastic thing.
Both things suck.
You know the ones that it's like it's got just the little
Yeah,
open.
of
They're
course.
terrible.
I've used bread before. I'm sorry.
I've been around
I
a
like
loaf
the
of
twi-
bread.
Are you mansplaining to me?
I'm mansplaining bread. I don't like that thing. I think that thing stinks.
No, but it's the thing, Jenna. It's the bread. It's the
But it shuts it.
but you just throw the twist tie away.
yeah. It never goes.
Do you now tie it?
No.
Oh, you just wrap it and
You
wrap
wrap
under.
it, and then when you put the bread, you set the bread back on it. It's crazy to me if you think the twist tie keeps the bread fresh.
Yeah, I want it closed. I want it
Do you tie your
contained.
shoes after you take them off?
That's
No,
I'm not
it's
eating
the
my
same
shoes.
thing,
Yes,
or-
it is.
No,
I'm
I'm
going to-
not eating my shoes.
I'm
And
going.
you don't need to keep them fresh.
Nah, I tweeted
Now,
this on
I'll
vacation.
give you the example.
and I had people having my back.
If you wanted your shoes to stay a certain way, people put the shoe
Yeah.
things that would be the equivalent of tying.
But the twist tie does not keep the bread fresh.
Oh, really? Have you done the scientific experiment on this?
Do your own research, Dan.
It's just crazy to me. So
That
credit
is
to-
next level lazy,
it's efficiency.
which usually shares a wall with being lazy.
It's efficient.
Okay.
I do think the ends of the bread keep it fresh. If you've ever used the end of a bread loaf, like the butt end of it,
Yeah.
too early, the rest of your bread is stale.
Oh, interesting.
I do believe that. I have
He's
done
got
the research.
theories.
I have done my own research on that. So that was the silly one. I tweeted that on vacation. That got some.
I somehow missed that one, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah. And finally, the more serious one is credit to a guy that nobody really knows, but I think he deserves a ton of credit for this. Credit to Dr. David Scher. This upcoming Monday, well wishes. It is hopefully going to be our daughter Shane's last trip to New York City. Shane was born with a club foot, which means that her left foot was facing her face when she was born. We have done 30 plus casts. We have done bracing. Every single night she wears a brace to bed. She's been phenomenal with it. Normally you only go till 4 years old. Dr. Scher is in New York City. Strong Golisano Children's Hospital was great. We had to go find a specialist. We were driving to New York City twice a week at times because she was in casts and slipping out of them. It's been a massive part of our lives. Not being able to know if your daughter, like you're fearing that she won't walk. So I don't think he watches the pod. I will send him this clip because hopefully, and I mean this is bittersweet, this is the last time we have to see him. Shane is now going to turn 5. We're hoping that this is the last time she has to wear her boots and bars to bed. She does get to see her cousins and says, like, why don't they have to wear this to bed? So she's walking, running, all of these things. People now, as she's gotten older, have no idea that she was born with a club foot. but it's been a massive part of our lives. And to see it now hopefully come to the finish line is a surreal feeling. When we met Dr. Schur, it was one of those moments where to this day, we tell him like he saved our lives. Like he gave us our life back to have knowing that our daughter was going to be in the good hands. So credit to Dr. David Schur at the Hospital for Special Surgeries in New York City. We are seeing him on Monday. Fingers crossed. We're going to do an x-ray to see how her bones are in her foot. And I don't want this to be bad juju. I asked Renee if this was a good one to do, but he is the most incredible world-renowned doctor for club feet. And he has been a blessing to my family to no end.
That's fantastic.
That's very sweet.
And congrats to the doctor. Could you just add in there credit to Shane?
Yeah.
Credit to Shane too. Because there's only been 3 or 4 nights that she has been like, I don't want to wear my boots and bars. We have to stretch her foot every night. Pretty much it's been a lot. It's been way easier since she turned 2 and we got out of cast and stuff like that. But you guys were a part of it, of saying, hey guys, we have to drive to New York City in the morning. And everybody's like, wow, that's so crazy that you did that.
You would go a lot.
Shane wasn't driving. She was just asleep in the back seat.
Oh, that's right. She didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah,
So Shane's been a trooper and through all of this. But again, credit to Dr. Schur. He has been, we got shirts every time we go there. Shane has shirts that says it's a sure thing.
Oh,
Because it's spelled SCHER. So, but yeah, that's the big one.
cute.
That's one. So we see him on Monday, hopefully getting the full clearance that there's no regression and that Shane's foot looks fine. But that's a big one.
oh, that's amazing.
So-
What a journey, man.
Yeah, I remember like when she was born, we had no idea. She was born with a club foot.
Can you tell him what you told Renee?
Yeah, it was a C-section. So like I was the first one that got to see our daughter, our firstborn child. We're so excited. And I remember like looking at her and not knowing what a baby looks like fresh out of the oven. And
I don't love that.
okay, fresh out of the womb. Is that better?
A newborn, I would say.
Yeah,
A
you
newborn.
could just gone there. That's fine.
And I remember telling the nurses and doctors that were over there, and I was like, what's up with her foot? Maybe every kid's born with their feet facing this way. And the doctor looked at me and was like, she has a club foot. I was like, what's that mean? And they were like, oh, it's, her foot's sideways. Okay. So I had to go back to my wife, who's still on the table in the operating room, and be like, she's healthy. She's beautiful. All these things are great. Her foot, her left foot makes a right-hand turn and like terrifying. It's just terrifying. You don't know what you don't know. So that was one of the things we thought it'd be like, oh, it's a simple surgery. It's not. It's been a 5-year process to get Shane's foot to where it is today. The funniest story I always remember telling is Troy Aikman was born with a club foot, and seeing him the night before, the night of the DeMar Hamlin game,
Yes.
and always wanting to get to talk to Troy
Oh,
Aikman.
you tracked him down on the field.
I tracked him down on the field pregame because they would walk around.
And who didn't know that Troy had a
Joe
club-
Buck.
Yeah.
So I caught Joe Buck's eyes first, and I go, hey, I just really wanted to talk to Troy. He was born with a club foot. My daughter is. And, one of the first things the doctors tell you is like, hey, by the way, Michelle Kwan, Mia Hamm, Troy Aikman, they all had club feet. They're all world-class athletes. Like, it'll be fine. And I remember Joe Buck going like, Troy doesn't have a club foot. I was like, pretty sure he's got a foundation. Like, I don't know how long you've been partners with him, but like, he's definitely his club foot. Troy, of course, came over and was like, that's incredible. John Rahm was born with a club foot.
Yeah.
So a lot of those guys,
Oh.
like, we root for hard in my family.
Yeah.
So I know this is a long credit to me, and I apologize, but it was, back then they pretty much broke your foot a ton of times. They would
Yeah.
just break it and reset it, break it and reset it. This method came along, the Dr. Schur and Ponsetti method. You pretty much slowly bend the foot back, and that's where we are at today. So sorry for the long rant, but this
Very
is a
exciting.
pretty cool moment. So positive vibes, appreciate it.
Yeah. Happy for
stuff.
you guys. Wow. All right. Hard to follow that up.
Yeah.
All right.
So Jenna, your wedding.
Yeah. No, actually, my credit to me is I followed through.
You did.
So Mike and I went golfing on Friday, and we go golfing a lot of times before work because we have the mornings free. And we decided to go, and Dan was obviously on vacation, so we had 2 extra spots at our tea time. And these 2 brothers signed up, Matt and Adam, and they work at Phillips European Restaurant in
Oh,
Rochester.
Yeah.
And so they were telling us about the menu and all that stuff. And I'm like, I want to go.
Jenna was very
I
excited.
was like, I
Yeah.
love chicken French. And they said they had the best chicken French in Rochester. I'm like, all right. And so I actually followed through. And on Saturday night,
Yeah.
Zach, myself, the father-in-law, Jeff came along as well. We checked out Phillips European, It was phenomenal food. Honestly, the best chicken French I've had. And the service, everyone, Matt and Adam were both working. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's cool.
So I actually followed through. Turns out it's worth it. Imagine that.
So
You got married, you followed through with Zach,
Followed through that.
and now a restaurant.
Also, I think I did something with my swing.
You followed through?
I don't know. I was hammering the ball
Look
on
out.
Sunday. Yeah.
So I'm sitting home Saturday. This is hours after we had played golf with these guys. Jenny and I are watching TV, and all of a sudden my phone's saying, "Oh, it's the menu from the restaurant." She was there. She's ready to go, ready to order. And Bills fan,
Yes.
Packers fan.
Yeah.
Between the brothers.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We
Also
used to
the
go-
desserts. I need to mention the
that's-
desserts.
So that's where Renee's family is big on your Phillips for their desserts.
Really?
They go there just for the desserts. I've been there several
So
times.
if you're-
Haven't eaten like dinner there,
it's really good.
but we've gone for desserts.
if you're coming to camp, shoot, it's what's it going to take you from
11?
Fisher? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
in Henrietta.
probably.
It's right off the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
really
a good
tasty.
spot. Good spot. Well, mine's very different. Mine was football related because people will come up and ask me about certain things, and I think to myself, I go, I got a story about that. I got a story about this. I got a lot of stories, and I was thinking about the Bills quarterbacks through the years, and these guys were asking me something about a player, and it could have been, Drew Bledsoe or
JP?
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Hospitality.
And
tag.
then Doug Flutie and Rob Johnson and whatever. And I find myself somebody asking me, and I'm like, well, that actually was a pretty good story. And then I'll start telling the story, and they had no idea, or it's something very individual with me. And I was thinking, like, it's almost like a bit of like a see and say. Do you remember what that toy is?
Yeah.
Where you just put it to the thing and then pull it, and I got the story in there. But I was thinking about it at one point. I go, like, if somebody asked me something about this player, and I'm like, it was something we did.
Doug Flutie, 95. Mike's like, womp, 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 womp.
Yeah. Well,
You need to write a book.
I
how
could
many-
write a book.
How many times have we told
I'll
you
tell you a
that?
quick Doug Flutie, Rob Johnson story together. First of all, I emceed an event that summer before the season. Both of them were guests at the event. It was in Rochester. They had not met each other before. I did a live shot for the TV station with both of those guys. And while we were waiting, they were talking to each other about the team and everything. They didn't know anything. If you knew anything, you knew after a while, one went after the other.
No bueno.
And Rob was not happy with Doug Flutie, made some comments in Sports Illustrated. That week, we had a preseason game. And I thought, oh, are these two going to fight leaving in the airplane?
Wow.
And as I'm pulling up, pickup truck is driving by, and it's Flutie and Johnson in the truck together going to get something to eat.
Oh.
Kind of wild, but they were
Wow.
not buds, but they were friends. But anyhow, it's just locked up in here. Stories about different players.
And Jenny has to hear them
Especially-
all the time.
Sometimes it's usually when we're out somewhere and then somebody says, oh, I remember this guy. And I was like, oh, yeah. Alex Van Pelt bought me dinner.
That's at
Drew
St. Elmo's.
Drew Bledsoe's father called me out. Like, we had a lot of stuff. It'll be in the book. I
It
write the
should.
book.
You should write a book.
True professional.
Broadcasting Hall of Fame, New York State's.
Can we
Mike
write
Catalano.
it's not.
Okay.
The
Hey,
forward.
no. Damn it.
I wasn't going to say forward. I'll tell you that. I knew it wasn't a eulogy that goes in the front of the book.
Daniel.
No. You can eulogize somebody that's alive.
No,
Yes, you can.
no,
I
Yes,
don't
it
think
is.
that's.
no.
Look up what a eulogy is. It is to remember the person.
Yeah, when they're dead.
Eulogy. It doesn't have to be at funerals.
Yeah, you could
Yes,
do
it is possible to deliver a eulogy or a living eulogy to someone who is alive.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like when they're ready
But
to be dead.
traditionally, eulogies are delivered at funerals.
If you say
I'm
it's
untraditional.
your eulogy,
I'm untraditional.
that you're on your way out.
I would say usually you're
Man.
living.
Yes.
Oh
God.
wow.
I took a public speaking class and you had to eulogize somebody that was alive.
Who told you that?
It was in college. Fredonia State, baby.
Particularly if they are retired or on their way out.
On their way out.
Perfect.
Yeah, no.
God,
No.
Eulogize
God
you at your
help us.
retirement.
God, you are so lucky you got through your wedding.
Could have
He
eulogized.
could have eulogized her.
Could you imagine?
Jenna
Yeah.
was a great person.
Okay. We should wrap up here.
Yeah.
So there's that. Please comment in who you are most excited to see on the Bills defense, your thoughts on some of the other players, and just are there any concerns about Joey Bosa and his health? Like, what are your thoughts as we head into summer training camp around the corner?
We could have had one other credit to me. Ben, that guy that was in Rochester that saw the mountain lion and went, rawr.
Oh,
'Cause
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones is
Oh,
unbelievable.
In case you missed it, here's a little Curtis Jones.
I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on, you know? I was like little nervous. Next thing I know, I just kept walking. I see mad people after I see the people run, I just see some big shit just walking, just right over there, right by the bush. It went right over there. I swear, I promise you, it went right over there. And they said, rah! And I just kept walking. I seen me, see it. So in my head, I'm like, nah, I gotta go, man. I'm out. I ain't about to play with nobody. I ain't about to. Look, they probably done seen it right now, so I don't know what's going on, but.
You notice what he did. What did Curtis do? He pointed.
It was right over there.
He could be a
it's
member
over there. It's over there.
of Buffalo Plus.
Seriously.
Rawr. And I just saw some big thing over there. And I just kept
Could
walking.
you imagine seeing a mountain lion though? And
I don't
walking
know.
down
Also,
the street?
don't know if Curtis saw one, but it was a great interview.
Great stories.
It was an unbelievable
Rochester
Internet
in the
Hall of
news.
Fame. Internet Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Rochester in the news.
That's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Rawr.
For Mike Catalana and Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We truly, truly appreciate it. If you see us out at training camp, give us a wave, say
Yeah.
hi. We'd love to say hi.
We're going to have a lot of content from camp.
Yeah.
Videos every day of practice. Yeah. We'll be out there.
It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Buffalo Plus podcast presented by Connors and Ferris.